Frisco RoughRiders opening up a 4-game series with the San Antonio Missions today, and joining us on the RoughRiders pregame show is RoughRiders outfielder Chris Grayson. Chris, appreciate the time. You've played in 6 games this season, and when you've been in, you've made it count at the plate, especially going 7 for 19 hitting. What's really working for you at the plate?
Well, it just all comes down to my approach at the plate. I'm just, being at the AA level, you really have to have a plan going up to the plate, because if you don't, these pitchers will really expose your weaknesses. So, it's early in the season. I've been going up to the plate with an approach and a plan and just sticking to it. And thus far, it's, I've been benefiting from it.
Can you shed any details about that approach?
Yeah, pretty much me being a lefty, I like to stay middle the other way because there's a lot of hits that way. Me being a speedy lefty, a ground ball to second doesn't really benefit me a lot. But if I could send that shortstop to his right side, put a ground ball in the 6th hole, I got a pretty good chance of getting a base hit out of that. And that was one adjustment I had to make from last year to this year.
So what kind of things are you doing when you're in the cages, when you're at batting practice, to improve offensively?
Well, honestly, this is one of the first years where I've just really committed to going the other way. So usually I've been a guy that I want to perfect my pull swing, but this offseason I had to understand that pulling the ball is just a natural reactive motion. So when I'm in the cages or during BP, now I'm trying to perfect that swing of going the other way, since that's my plan in the game. I want that to become natural and just second nature, to just see that pitch and just go with it, drive it the other way. And thus far, majority of my hits have been, from second base on the left field.
So you're happy with that so far?
Oh, yeah, so very happy, because in the past, majority of my hits were pull side, and, most of my outs were pull side. But I realized that, there's tons of space on the left side as well. If I can use the whole field, that makes me that much of a better hitter.
And with sabermetrics and all that sort of stuff, defenses are going to realize that you're pulling and are going to shift accordingly.
Exactly. And in the past, pitchers would know that I can pull the ball with authority, and they would just pound me away. And, I had to make that adjustment, because sometimes I would still try to yank that outside pitch and try to pull it to my strength. But now I got to understand that, in AA, pitchers and pitching coaches, they can pick up on that early and they'll expose a weakness. So now a lot of people know I can pull the ball, and now every time during the game they see me going the other way, it's like, man, where do we pitch this guy now? And, that's the sphere I want to strike into the opponents, that there's nowhere they can pitch me.
We're with outfielder Chris Grayson on the RoughRiders pregame show. And, Chris, we mentioned the numbers at the plate, 7 for 19, still early in the season. But do you think that warrants more playing time?
Well, for me, it's just more about, being the guy that the team needs on any given day. I understand that, it's a process. We have a 4-man rotation in the outfield. And, whether I'm on the bench, I want to be that energy on the bench. When I'm in the game, I want to give it all I can. But, it's early in the season. I'm just one of those guys that when I get on the field, I don't want it to look like that I've had 3 days off. I bring it every single day, no matter what. And when I'm in the game, I don't think about tomorrow or yesterday. I'm in the game today. What can I do to help the team win? And I know when I'm getting on base, good things happen. Most of the time I've gotten on base, we've scored that inning, and I take pride in that. So that's my goal.
And I speak from experience watching this team. Your energy is noticeable when you are on the field. Other than trying to maintain a high level of energy, what kind of things are you doing to stay fresh, stay on your toes, so that when you are in the game, you're not rusty?
Well, like today, I won't be in the lineup, but at the same time, during BP, I was tracking a bunch of balls, off the bat. I'll go in, get a lift, not let my body realize that it's an off day. Mentally, it'll be an off day, but during the game, I'll still be that energy on the bench for the guys. But physically, I won't let my body know it's an off day. I still get as much work in as I can. I actually treat the off days, I'll get an extra lift in. I'll do a little more work, took extra swings in the cages, extra swings during BP. So it's just one of them things, just because mentally I know it's an off day, I won't let my body know that it's an off day. I still put it to work just like it's a normal day at the park.
Well, physically, you look like you're in great shape. What kind of feedback are you getting from the coaches about your performance?
Well, spring training is where I got most of the response from, because, last year was a little down season for me, and I was just, I went into the off season, had to change my approach, like I said, from being a pull side guy, thinking I got to pull everything, and, trusting that I can go the other way with authority as well. So I went into the off season, and I just, I put on 18 pounds of muscle, and it was just really just going after it as hard as I could. And I had a goal. I wanted to get to AA. I wanted to play here, be closer to my family. It's only 4.5 hours away. This is the closest I've been since I left high school, but it was just, that was my goal. I wanted to be here, and I did everything I could. I switched my approach. I put on good weight, got stronger, got faster. That was my goal. This was my goal to get here. I'm here. Now my goal is to be a presence, be a threat, and help this team win any way I can.
You must have been doing something right, because this team was on a 10-game winning streak that ended yesterday. I know you guys weren't talking about the win streak in the clubhouse or amongst yourselves or anything like that, but nonetheless, was the mood in the clubhouse after the loss last night a little bit different?
Yeah, it was, just because us as Texas Rangers, we say, we like to play the Ranger way no matter what. No matter what, win or lose, we like to play the Ranger way, whether we're on a 10-game win streak or a 10-game losing streak. When we lose, we take it personal. Yesterday in the dugout, in the locker room, we knew we lost. We take it personal. We don't like to lose, period. We feel like we're better than every team when we go out there and play our ball. So, we take it personal when we lose, and, but the next day, we wipe the slate clean, and today's a new day. We got a different team in San Antonio. But, yes, when we win, we like to feel good about it. Next day, turn the page. When we lose, we do take it personal, because we don't like to lose. That's the Ranger way. We don't suit up and hit the field to lose. So when we lose, we take it a little personal. But the next day, wipe the slate clean. We come to play ball and try to turn the page.
Did you pick up your welcome bag from the Booster Club last night after the game?
Yes, we did. And that was big, just to know, even after a loss, we still got people that's in our corner, and, we know that. We don't like to lose in front of the fans. We love our fans. We like to give them a show, and we like to walk off the field victors, and, we take it personal. Tonight we're going to do everything we can to get back on that winning track.
Again, we're with outfielder Chris Grayson. Chris, we've seen you in Centerfield and Rightfield so far this season. What's really the difference, if any, between playing those two positions?
Well, in Centerfield, you're the captain. You gotta be on top of everything. I feel like if a ball's not caught in left field or right field and I'm in center, that's on me, because I'm the captain. When the ball's not hit to me, I got to talk to these guys. And when I'm in right field, I understand the center fielder's the captain. He has priority over every ball, and he has to let me know when we're going back on the ball. Like when Robinson had to jump at the wall, I'm right there. I'm right with him in the play. Drew, get up. You got room. Wall, get up. That's what I have to do in center field as a captain. When I'm playing right field, I have to understand that my center fielder, he's the captain, and I got to trust him that he's going to give me correct info on a ball where I'm going back. I may not know where the wall is because I'm watching the ball, but I trust my captain who's in center field for that day, and we have an understanding in the outfield, and that's why I like playing with these guys, because we've been together for a while, and we trust each other. No matter who's in center, we get the right information, and that's why we play so well together, and we all can play different positions.
And going from single A to double A, you mentioned the big difference at the plate. You have to have an approach. Are there any differences to your approach, I guess, defensively in the field? Anything different about the double A level?
Well, yes, at this level, yes, because, we play, our home park is Dr. Pepper Ballpark in Frisco, and the wind blows out here. As far as last year in Myrtle Beach, the wind blew in. We could play a little more shallow because those balls the hitters would hit, we trust that it may not go that far. But as of here at Dr. Pepper Ballpark, the wind usually carries out a little bit, and you have a little better hitters in the AA hitters. So we play a little deeper because we like to pride ourselves that if a guy hits a ball hard enough and it's not getting out the park, we take pride in not letting that ball get down. You'll see us, all our outfielders, we're jumping at the wall trying to rob a home run, or we're running into the wall trying to make that catch, not let that guy get extra base hits. And we pride ourselves in that. And if you watch the game, you've seen us jumping at the wall, running in the walls, because we understand how this ballpark plays, and we're playing against AA hitters who have a pretty good idea of what they're doing out there. But we take pride in, we like to say no ball touches the ground. Even if it's a hard hit ball in the gap, our pitcher gave up a good hard contact, we take pride in having this back. No ball hits the ground. That's what we preach in our outfield.
Appreciate the insight. As we wrap things up with outfielder Chris Grayson on the RoughRiders pregame show, understand that you were first base coach on the most recent road trip to Arkansas. First, just tell me if you enjoyed the time in the first base coach's box. I
did, because, like I was saying, on the days, my off days, I don't like my body to realize it's an off day. So that was my way of staying in the game. I offered to coach first base, and that was my way of staying in the game every play offensively, being there for my teammates when they get on base, giving them information on how quick the pitcher is to the plate, still having this watch every sign what he gives at third base. That was my way of still staying in the game every pitch offensively and just being there for my teammates. Just one of those things that I still like to be in the game even if I'm not in the lineup.
And it sounds like that really keeps you in the game mentally.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because actually the night before I got confused on the signs. When I was at the plate, I thought Coach put on a hit and run. He didn't, got confused a little bit. So that was the next day, first base coach, that was kind of my practice. I had to study every sign, and if I missed one, that means my runner at first base was going to miss the sign as well. So I had to be more on point, more focused, and that was my sign practice. I had to watch every single sign he gave, and usually, honestly, if I'm on the bench just watching the game, I may not pay attention to every sign. I'm watching the hitter who's at the plate. But that game, I took it upon myself, hey, you got confused on the sign, coach first base, that way you have to pay attention to every single sign he gives offensively. And, yeah, I doubt I'll miss another one for the rest of the season just from that day.
Last question, favorite tattoo and why?
I would say the scripture on my forearm, it reads, I make mistakes, but learn from everyone. In the end, when it's all said and done, I bet this brother be a better one. If I upset you, don't stress. Never forget, God isn't finished with me yet. And it just goes to say, yeah, we're all here living earth. I'm a Christian, and we all make mistakes. But the thing is, understand I'm not perfect, and every mistake I make, I do 3 things to try to better myself and make sure that mistake doesn't happen as well. And, I ask for forgiveness of my sins, and God understands we make mistakes. But I pride myself on, doing what I can to get better and make sure I don't make that mistake again.
Words of wisdom from Chris Grayson on the RoughRiders pregame show. Chris, thank you for the time, and we'll be back right after this on the Frisco RoughRiders Baseball Network.